target 1 in my location.
TIA, this is Africa. Welcome everyone to Juma Game Reserve. Welcome to Africa. My name is Sebastian, and behind the camera this morning we have Tara, and back in final control we have Mark. I'll be your guide this morning, and we're very close to the Hyena Den, so I want to start by the den, see if there is a bit of activity there, if Teddy is there and the other youngsters. So we're gonna go and have a look there. If you have any questions this morning, you can send them to questions@juma.com, and then Mark will forward them to me. Let's just jump on board and see if the Hyena Den is active this morning. Very pretty sunrise, good way to start the day. Nothing like a good sunrise and a good coffee. Got the sunrise and I've got the coffee, so should be a good drive. There was quite a lot of general game on my way here. Bless you, Tara. And bless you again. There was quite a lot of general game on my way here. Quarantine and also on Zoe's Road just now. Lots of kudus, impalas, water bugs. And they all seem pretty relaxed, especially the impalas on quarantine. But I'm pretty sure the leopards are still around. Unfortunately, we couldn't see them yesterday, but I was directing yesterday afternoon, and I don't know if it was Shivinzi or Shivambalana, but one of them was in front of FC yesterday afternoon, and then made his way towards Graham's house. And then we couldn't relocate them, so I don't know, they might have gone down to the drainage line, but I'm pretty sure they're still around. Maybe they're on Gary Dam. If any of the viewers or any of the zoomies spotted anything interesting last night or heard anything interesting, please let Mark know. questions@juma.com, and it's always helpful to know what has happened during the night around the dam. Naughty puppies. The naughty puppies are here. Hello guys. What you up to this morning? Naughtiness. That's what you're up to. Okay, looks like they're going on the other side of the dam, of the den.
Well, Mummy's just lying just behind.
Oh yeah, I see Mummy. Let's maybe go over there. Yeah, they're all that side. They're all on that side. Are you fine there, Tom? Yeah? Hello? It's quite a chilly morning again. It gets very, well, not very hot, but it gets quite hot during the day at the moment. And then at night, temperatures drop to a good 10, probably 10, between 10 and 15 degrees. Morning mobile station. I'm getting mobile on Western Gary, and I'm at the Hyena Den on Zoe's Road, active at the moment.
Thank you
I'm fine, I'm full, on yourself?
Good, good, good. Yeah, okay, thanks very much. Yeah. For Shark as well.
No, I actually just switched on my radio now. I haven't heard from him yet.
Thanks.
Yeah, but as soon as the sun comes up, especially if the car is stopped, it's quickly getting quite warm. Very steady. Sleeping inside the den. I can see another hyena over there on the other side of the drainage line, two of them probably making their way here. What you got there, little one? A bone. Yeah. Some kind of antelope bone, could be impala. So if we have any new viewers this morning, this is a Hyena Den that we have pretty close to our camp, and it's been active for the last few months now. We've got two different mums here, that's one of them, and then we've got some youngsters of different age. And we've got a brand new puppy. And we've got a brand new puppy who's probably around 6-7 weeks old that we named Teddy. Can't see him right now. Maybe he'll pop out a bit later. And the other youngsters are here. And we've got 3 of them now, and I think I saw 2 just now on the other side of the drainage line, and maybe they're making their way here. And there is also another mum. At this den, but she's not here this morning.
I just dropped it now, so presume my mobile goes up. Alright, yeah, keep me updated there, please. Okay, yeah, I'm checking around. Thanks,
You can see nicely all the spots on this shot. And the big paws. Very nice close-ups. Oh, she's sleeping. Did you have a rough night, Mammy? Come and say hello. I sniffed the tires, just heard his hand banging on the toolbar. Bull bar, sorry, not toolbar. Bull bar. You're gonna come and sniff my feet this morning.
You see him?
No, I think he's on your side of the car, on the left hand side. It's going back over there.
Something's going on, can you hear it?
Yeah, what was that? Elise?
What's that?
I just heard elephants trumpeting in the east. Here we go, there's another one coming. Another youngster. The youngster gang. You can see these two coming now a little bit older. A few months older than the two on the left hand side of your screen. Kind of like, what's up guys? What you up to this morning? What you've got there? What you've got there? Share it, share it. Sharing is caring. Don't think he wants to share his Impala or whatever bone he's got. Sorry Mark, remind me the name of the question you just sent, please? Evil John, Evil Dog, Evil Dog. Good morning to you, Evil Dog. Welcome on board. Evil Dog is asking if hyenas get ticks. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. Ticks and fleas. They've got quite a lot of parasites in their long hair. So yeah, it's a yes, Evil Dog, definitely. Like your dog at home can get some ticks. Lots of different kind of ticks in Africa, and hyenas are not the cleanest animals around here in the bush, so they definitely have ticks and fleas on them. So they must have had a kill somewhere last night. Or either killed something or stole a kill. And just trying to see what he's got there. Doesn't want to share it though. Oh.
Mobile station with an update.
A bit of biting going on over there.
Yeah, good morning, Ephraim. Still quiet, just Mishikai active. Able is following some England Konzo places.
And another
driveway.
two youngsters coming.
I'm here about 3 hours driving out to see if I can pick up any other England Konzo. Okay, come thank you, boy. I'm on a Gary cut line. I'll have to get to check those in Ghana if he's still around there. Okay, go ahead.
Linda, good morning to you, Linda. Welcome to the Hyena Den, Linda. Linda is asking if hyenas change their coat according to the season, if they get a lighter coat for summer. Not really, Linda. They see these ones, they look a little bit more fluffy, or looks like their coat is a little bit thicker than the mum who's sleeping, but that's only because they're a little bit, well, not a little bit, just because they're younger, and they will, as they grow older, they will start getting shorter hair on their coat. Like you see the mum here, she doesn't have long hair, and also their coat will start getting lighter and lighter, and as hyenas get older and older, their fur gets lighter, the spots get lighter and lighter, but they don't really have what happened there?
I don't know, I was just about to take the camera off and
Yeah, they're very shy. Well, they're very inquisitive. They'll come and sniff the tires. The other day we don't have a door, I don't have a door on my right hand side, and one of them the other day was even sniffing my right foot. But if you just move a little bit, or if you just make a noise in the car, then they run away straight away. They're quite inquisitive, but very shy. You see now Tara took the camera off, but they'll come back. They will definitely come back. They like the car. They like sniffing the tires and biting, chewing, whatever they can. The other day they were trying to chew on the audio cable, which is also by my foot there. I had to stop them, otherwise he was going to pull the cable, and well, it's the old audio cable for the previous mic, so it's not a trend smash, but still, can't really afford to lose any cable at the moment. Here we go. Very interested in the left front tire. So, yeah, Linda, to answer your question, they keep the same coat all year round. It's just their coat just changes from when they're young. When they're babies, if you see Teddy is actually black. They are born black, with a black coat, and then they change their coat as they get older. They start getting spots, and they start getting a lighter coat. You can see these youngsters have a much darker coat than the mum, but slowly but surely they will start getting a much lighter coat as they grow older. Sorry?
What was your last code you had of those to England? Where did you have the last two codes of Mafuna and Mafazi? That's my one. I'm on the GPR.
I did, yes. No worries. Marilyn, good morning to you, Marilyn. She's asking if we've seen the black pup. No, not yet, Marilyn. It could be inside the den. He's probably inside the den. The whole clan is pretty much here. We're just missing the black pup who we've named actually Teddy. For your information, Marilyn, if you hear us talking about Teddy from now on, you can know it's the black little puppy, and Teddy's missing, and his mum, I'm not too sure if.
there's one more pup missing. It's the smaller one of these.
Yeah, there is
These
also.
two pair that were very close in age.
Yes.
Very old ones.
And we've got three.
Very young ones.
We've got three, so we're missing also one of the.
In between Teddy and these two.
Yeah, in between Teddy and these two, Tara is saying that we're missing another puppy. Edge being between Teddy and these ones, yeah, on camera now. Hello. Say hi to the world. The world is watching you. Getting famous this morning. And we've got one mum missing as well. I don't know if it's Teddy's mum. Don't know if this one lying here is Teddy's mum or not. Not easy to identify them. Ta, Emela is asking you if you know what happened to the pup that you used to call Elvis.
Yeah. I think he's still here actually. I think he's just lost his sideburn.
Yeah.
He's one of the older pups.
Yeah, Ta is saying she thinks he's still here. He's just lost his hairstyle. So he doesn't have that characteristic Elvis Presley hairstyle anymore, but he's probably still around.
From Hyena Den at the cruise camp. She left me in the cruise camp last night in my fancy. Okay, copy. Doing that Hyena Den, it looks like we're going down to cruise camp. Yeah, from the river. Okay, copy. Yeah, I'll make my way north then quickly. All around cruise camp there and see if we can relocate there. Okay, copy.
Sorry, Mark, can you repeat that? I had an ear on the radio in the same time. The previous question, please. Phil, good morning to you, Phil, in Canada. Wants to know if hyenas regurgitate their food like wolves do. Yes, they do. I haven't seen it from my own eyes yet, but I've read in books that they will do from time to time, regurgitate food. It's one way for the young pups when they start eating meat. It's one way. That's how they start eating meat. It's from regurgitated food from their parents.
Okay, copy. We got a call from Elliot. He said he booked woman one must probably good at Hyena Den last night, and they found much south towards cruise camp. So I'm going to make my way north and see if I can relocate on those things to England. Okay, keep that side down, follow you behind later on. Then I'll have to finish a couple minutes with this condo here. Okay, good.
Something spooked them again. Oh, look at those paws. We've got Tara and the hyena there. You can see your shadow. Laura, thank you, Laura. Good morning to you. Laura is saying great shot, Tara. Yeah, Tara is saying thank you. Laura is wanting to know if leopard is still my favorite animal, because looks like I'm getting very fond of hyenas and especially teddy. You know, Laura, like I said, every time I get that question, what is your favorite animal, it's difficult to answer it. So I love spending time with hyenas as much as I do with leopards. I wouldn't say they're like my new favorite animal. It's like I said, I don't really have only one favorite animal. It's difficult when you're here in the bush, and we're very lucky to be on drive almost every day and see amazing wildlife, amazing sightings almost every day. And once you might have a hyena on a drive and she might just be walking through the bush, nothing much interesting about it. And then after that you'll have very nice leopard sighting, so you'll be like, wow, you love leopards, but then the next day you might have hyenas like this at the den with pups playing, a lot of interactions going on, little teddy was very cute. So then you go, wow, leopards was really cool last night, but now this is also really cool. So to say you've got a favorite animal, it's not that easy. I definitely enjoy spending time here, because we're quite lucky to have that den. I mean, lots of properties don't have a den on their property, and they can't really spend as much time as we do by Hyena Den. And the fact that we can, it just makes everything really awesome, because we can see those pups growing up, we can see them interacting with the adults or with the older ones. We can see how Teddy is gonna also change from weeks to weeks. He's gonna get older and he's gonna start getting his spots on his coat, and interacting more with the other ones, exploring more around the den. So all of this just make it really, really a nice sighting. And lots of people think hyenas are ugly and not that they're not interesting, but they're just scavengers and they're ugly and they stink. And when you see them like that, I just want to show this to the world, that you can change your perspective about an animal. And I know a lot of you out there, a lot of you have been coming back to me on my Facebook profile or sending me emails saying you looking at hyenas in a different way now, thanks to that family we've got there, thanks to that den, because you start understanding more about them, and the fact that we can spend so much time with them in their natural environment makes it really special. So Laura, it's difficult to see leopard is I would say like my favorite, because it's just beauty. It's just a leopard is really, really a pretty animal, a very pretty cat out there in the bush. And lions are not far behind. Lions are less pretty, but they have power. When you have male lions walking on the road towards you, towards the car, it's just raw power, and that's beautiful. So it's when I get that question, what is your favorite animal, I'm always like, okay, today what would be my favorite animal? You know, I just like all of them out there. I just want to spend time with all of them, and learning things in books is one thing, but then also things with your own eyes is another thing. And we've got an opportunity to do it here with the den, and that's why it's so special. You see also why I would say leopard is my favorite animal here. I think it's also, just realizing now, I think it's also because we know them, we know the leopards out there. They've got names, we've been following them for a long time. So we have some kind of connection with them. And that's why I love them. That's why I love Mishu, I love Induna, I love Kerula and Shivinzi and Shivambalana and Mvula and all of Yambili Yordan, all of those leopards out there. We follow their lives. Well, Wilder's been following their lives for years. I've been following them for a year and a half, and that's why I wouldn't say that's why it's my favorite animal, but that's why they're special to me. It's because I know them. It's because if I drive around the bush and I see a leopard, I can identify it. I know how to identify most of them, and it's just nice to be able to go, oh, I know you. You're in Tuna. I've seen you as a cub. Or Shivenzi, I've seen you as a cub. I've taken pictures of you on the road. You were like really, really small, and look at you now, like almost the same size as your mom. And it's nice to know that we can do that for longer. We can follow their life. We hopefully will be able to see Shivinzi and Shivambalana growing up to the point where they're gonna start splitting up with their mom, and then splitting up between them, going their own way, and getting more and more independent. And that's why it's so interesting. Where we can't really do that with lions, you see, because we don't really have a pride of lions who's staying here permanently and that we can see on almost every drive. They usually walk through our property and stay a night or two max, and then they go somewhere else. The Tsalala seems to be around at the moment. We kind of see that we've seen the Tsalala pride quite a lot, but it's not the same as the leopards. They're on the other side now, in the shade. Alright guys, I'm just gonna quickly go on the other side, go back to the other side of the den, see if they're still there or if they're gone in the drainage line, and soon we will carry on with our drive before it gets too hot. Sorry, Mama. Do I have one behind me? Okay, I'll turn around over there. Thanks, Tom. Almost drove over a hyena. No, that wouldn't have happened.
I wondered if you saw them or not.
Dia, good morning to you, Dia. Dia wanting to know how old are those hyena pups we're watching. Well, we've got different age groups here. We didn't see Teddy this morning. Teddy is the youngest one. The new pup is around 6-7 weeks maybe. And then we've got the next generation who are probably... Do I have some space there? Okay. Probably around 8-9 months old. And then we've got... Tara was saying missing one of the back on that side now. Also missing a pup which will be between Teddy's age and 8 months old. And then we've got another generation who are probably just over a year old. Stop? Okay, I'll stop. Look at that. That's cute. Posing for you. Go and wake up Teddy, guys. Where's Teddy? So those ones in front of you are probably around 8 months, 8-9 months old, and then the two older ones, they are actually in front of the car over there. Tara was filming them earlier on. They're sleeping now, and they are a little bit older, probably just over a year old. catching the sun rays, warming up, getting a tan. Isn't this one the one you were talking about, huh? The one who's lying down there. It looks a bit smaller than the other
That
ones.
one's the same as the one. The one in the middle is the older one, and then these, the two, that one and the one behind are about the same age.
So they're not far apart though, like a month or two difference.
Yeah, they're definitely not too far apart.
What's up, guys? Where are you going now?
I think there is a francolin or something whistling in there.
I think that mummy and those two youngsters over there must have had quite a busy night. They must have been active for most part of the night because they are now like really sleeping, really tired. That's what hyenas do, folks. They are mostly nocturnal animals, so they'll be active at night, and then during the day they'll find some nice shady spots or the entrance of the den. So it's nice and cool, and then they'll sleep for most of the day.
Gone.
Scratching his belly. Do you like that, puppy?
For my daughter, yeah.
Jody, New Mexico. Good morning to you, Jody.
Past the two bushes, do you think?
Yeah. Good morning, Jody. Let me just put the car here so we can have a better view of those two here sleeping for a couple of minutes, and then we'll carry on with our drive. Jody wants to know if hyenas get skin cancer due to the sun. So I don't know, Jody. I've never read such a thing. They've got quite a lot of hair, thick fur protecting their skin, like most animals do. Humans are quite the only species which is imberbe, like no hair. That's probably why we have so many skin cancers in our species. So I haven't. This is really scientific now, that question. I might have to read a little bit, surf a little bit on the net for answers for that. But I've actually never even thought about it. I personally don't really think so, because their skin is really well protected from the sun. But I'm sure some scientists did some research on that, and maybe I can find some more scientific answers for you later on during the day. Then I can let you know this afternoon.
They're not really going to be out.
Sorry,
They're not really going to be out when the sun is at its strongest. They're going to
Also,
be sleeping in
yeah.
the shade usually.
Yeah.
Very, very, very unusual to have them out during that part of the day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. I hadn't thought about that. Tara is bringing a good point. You see, when the sun is at its hottest part of the day, they're usually not there. They're usually sleeping in the shady in a shady spot. They're not really active when the sun is really hot. So they are, like I was saying earlier on, they're active mostly at night and early mornings, or basically at dawn or at sunset time, and then during the night. It's not too warm yet, and that's why you see these ones are still they're not really in the shade yet, even though that one in front of me is a little bit in the shade already. But as the sun comes up more and more, as it's gonna get hotter, then they'll definitely move on to a much cooler spot, either down in the drainage line or somewhere around the den where they can have find some shade inside the den, the entrance of the dens. And Mama is on the move.
She is.
Where are you off to? Maybe up to the drainage line. Oh, yawning. And the youngsters are probably going to follow her now. Here we go.
That actually might be their mum then.
Huh?
That might be their mum.
Might be?
Their mum.
Their mum, yeah. Thanks, Laura. I'm glad you understand my point from earlier on. Laura is saying she's enjoying every animals we're watching at the moment. So may it be a hyena or a leopard or a kudu, she's enjoying all of them. I'm glad you got my point, Laura. Not easy to have a favorite animal around here. All right, guys, let's let them be, and let's carry on with our drive before it gets too hot. So as we were driving a little bit around, checking for tracks and activities from the previous night, from last night. What else we can find. Heidi, good morning to you. Heidi wants to know if hyenas are related more to cats or to dogs. Well, they belong to their own family, which is not... there we go.
Yep.
Oh, puppy, what you up to? Eh? Got a hyena pup right here. Oh, God. It just flew out of the bush here on my right hand side. Oh, there is, I can hear him still walking past the left and next to Tara. He's probably going to join the other ones. And the den was probably sleeping somewhere here. Or he's just coming back from his night out. Are they in there in the drainage line? Oh, there they are, yeah, behind us. Is that the man? Yeah. Where is she going? They're all on the move, girls. It's like they're following us, but they want us to leave. There we go. It's like, stay here, stay here. They're running after us. Why are you crawling? Sure, they're all very active now. I don't know. They're not really smelling us as such. Because Mark is saying the other day we had, yesterday morning we had a hyena at the camp, and she tried to steal the rubbish bin. Sorry?
That was me. It was just as I woke up, I heard it.
Yeah, no, he's not saying he saw her. He's saying we had one at the camp, and trying to steal the rubbish bin, and luckily Tara woke up in time and chased her away, and she left us some presents, some dung by the camp, and Ganda actually, maybe that's what they're smelling. Maybe they're smelling the dung on the tires. Maybe they're smelling that hyena who was at the camp. I don't know. They're not really smelling us as such, though. They just... Otherwise, I think when we were over there by the dam, they would have come much closer and sniffed the tire more than they did. Alright, let's go back to bed, kids.
Mostly. Alright, copy. I'm gonna make my way north as well, but I'm not gonna go to Nangala first. I first want to go to Mulberry and those areas there, see if I can relocate on those two England first. You copy, yeah, on Saturday, try.
This is like greeting ceremony.
Yeah, it is like grading ceremony.
She thought they'd found something.
Welcome back to the dam now. Let's carry on with our drive, guys. We're going back to the den. We're gonna take it easy now. If we don't find much on the drive, then maybe we'll come back a bit later. If don't find anything really interesting. And we can also come back this afternoon. But sorry, I didn't finish to answer my question about hyenas. Are they more related to the cats or to the dogs? And I was saying they've got their own, they belong to their own family, and so they're not part of the Felidae or of the Canidae families. But if you would have, if you have to relate them, then it would definitely be to dogs more than to cats. Hold on, sorry guys, just listening to the radio here. Yeah, they're way different than cats. They've got more similarities to dogs than to cats, if that can answer your questions. Their tracks, first of all, is really similar than dogs' tracks. And yeah, just their behavior and their physical traits are much more similar to dogs than to cats. So, but they've got their own families anyway, which is, you're trying to remember now. What's the hyena family again?
Hyena Den.
Is it Hyena Den? So it was something else. Okay. So belonging to the Hyena Den family, which is thought they were belonging to another one. Cats belong to the Felidae and the dogs belong to the Canidae. So they are different, but it could be related to dogs, and that's why we call the babies pups actually, and not cubs. Well, that was cool. Nice way to start the day, huh? Brent, good morning to you. Welcome on board, Brent. Brent is asking about actually quite an interesting question. I had to give it a minute or two to think about. Asking with all the animals needing water to drink at the moment, why the predators just don't stay around the dam or around the water holes to catch them. Good question, good point. But you're thinking like a human. Not like a predator. You see, predators have territories, and predators try to not compete for food. And if they would all stay around the waterhole, they would be competing so much for food. There would be a lot of fights involved, and also there is not enough space around waterholes for predators to just stay there and wait for animals to come and drink. Obviously, some predators use water holes and just ambush animals, antelopes that come and drink during the driest part of the year in winter. In winter, and but they can't really live. They can't just live there. They've got their own territories, and if all the predators would live around the water holes, then it would just be a mess. It would just create too much competition, too much fighting, and also, you know, predators. If you think about your leopards, your lions, even your hyenas, they are active mostly at night, and during the day they trickle there. Just have a quick look at those impalas grazing in the open area. That's where we were this morning for the sunrise. So your predators are mostly active at night, and at night you don't really have much activities around the water hole. You don't really get antelopes drinking and other kind of prey species. You might have a few, but generally they don't. They don't come to the water holes at night. They will come during the day when they are very thirsty. And during that time, then the predators are sleeping. So that's another reason why they just don't hang around water holes and ambush their prey. Well, they do, sorry, I mean they do, some of them, but like that's why they just don't live there around water holes and just wait there for animals all the time to come and drink, to catch them. They just wouldn't work for them. But that's an interesting point. That's what you would do, right? If you were lost in the bush and you have to hunt, you just wait by a water hole and just wait for an animal to come and drink and kill it.
The animals will soon learn if there's a predator there all the time.
Sorry?
Animals would soon learn if there's a predator there all the time and stop coming.
Yeah, Tara is saying animals would soon know also if there are predators around all the time. It's just it just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work, unfortunately. It might work for a couple of days, and then animals will, like Tara is saying, animals will know that there are some predators around, and they'll just avoid that water hole and go to the next one, go to another one. We've got some impalas here, quite a big herd, also some water bucks far on the left. It's getting nice and warm now. Always nice to see different species grazing together. You often get impalas with water buck, sometimes wildebeest as well, grazing together. Safety in numbers, more eyes to look, more ears to listen, and it's just they feel more safe. Cool. Let's leave them grazing, having their breakfast, their morning breakfast, and that's what they usually do early morning. You see your antelopes are usually grazing in the early hours, and then when it starts getting hot, they will usually find some shade somewhere, and just relax there and choose the cud during the hottest part of the day. Sorry, Mark, I'm not sure I got all of that. I got the name, Jojo. Yes. Oh, yeah? Oh, all right. Jojo, good morning to you, Jojo. Welcome on board. I'm glad you're enjoying the drive. Yeah, you're right. It's a good start of the day. Jojo is asking about hyenas, saying that they are it's a matriarchy system, so the dominants are females, and she wants to know who comes. So there is a dominant female, and she wants to know if the second in charge is also a female or if it would be a male. And no, it's only females are dominant in the hyena society, so you'll find that you'll have a matriarch, dominant female, but then the other females are also dominant over the males. Then also among the males you'll have some kind of hierarchy, like some males will be a little bit more dominant than others, but all the females are dominant over the males. And just trying to think here which way we should go. Let's go and have a look around Hyena Den or quarantine. I didn't really check properly around quarantine this morning. Hyena tracks all over the place. So Jojo, yeah, that's why you actually get the females. Hyenas are usually bigger than the males. They are dominant over the males. The males don't really have a saying in their society. why they're bigger, it's also because they've got more, nature made them becoming more aggressive, more dominant, with more testosterone basically in their genes, in their organism, their body. And testosterone is basically giving them a more male look-alike appearance, making them more aggressive like males. And that's how they can actually be dominant over males. So the second in charge would not be a male. Only females are dominant. Then obviously, yeah, like I said, you've got your matriarch, and then you'll have lower ranking females. And then you've got your males, and among the males you'll also have a hierarchy, some males being more dominant than others. Where are the good old days when we used to have leopards on quarantine early mornings? Good old days when we had Mishu and Imduna on quarantine playing. Yeah. Stations just left the NPC Kaya, still active. If I find some nice tracks, guys, we'll do a bit of tracking as well. Not part of the quiz, just training you for Tara. Because yesterday afternoon I realized that she's very naughty with you. Very strict. She's expecting a lot of you. A lot from you, sorry. So if I can give you a hand, I'll train you a little bit. If I find some nice tracks, we can stop and try to identify it together. I won't be part of the quiz, just be a bit of training on the side. You okay with that, Ta?
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
She wasn't listening. So I'll train your students. If I find some nice tracks, I'll train them.
Yeah.
Because you've been very mean to them yesterday.
I wasn't being mean.
But you're doing quite well. I was directing yesterday afternoon and sure, 80% of the answers were good, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I've trained them well.
You trained them well, yes. If they come to Africa one day, they can sit
Yeah.
over there
In the
on the bait seat. Who's that person that day? Someone sent a question saying, why on the other game drive vehicles we see someone sitting on the bonnet? Does he serve as a bait? As a joke. But that's funny. The bait seat, yeah. So you guys, most of you can sit on that seat now and just help your ranger, help your guide. Hyena tracks, leopard tracks, hold on, going this way. 2 hours fresh. Female. Yeah, that's the next stage.
Giving some trade secrets away here.
It's a pity with the camera we can't do that, because that would be a nice,
What's that?
another way to, or the next stage of your training would be to spot the tracks as we're driving. Like Mark and Tara do very well. Like I kind of do, but not as well as them. I don't have, my eyes are not trained like theirs. I haven't been doing it for long enough. I need to do some proper tracking training and stuff. But I can. I mean, most of the tracks, if they're not difficult tracks, I can see them as I'm driving, but I'll still miss some. And that would be a nice, the next step for you will be this one, to drive and for us to let us know, okay, what, or we ask you what tracks are coming and you go, that's impalas, or that's hyenas. But unfortunately we can't really do it like that. Picture quality is not good enough for you to see what's on the road in front of us. Because when you work as a tracker, that's what you have to do. It's one thing to be able to recognize or to identify the tracks when you stop, but it's another thing to, as you're driving, to spot the tracks and follow the tracks. Tracker won't even, well, sometimes they will say to the guy just stop and they will look around, but most of the time they'll just look and they will find a leopard track that they'll turn around to the guide and say, okay, we've got leopard tracks, just go that way. And then he will just direct the guide left, right, and as they're driving. And that's sure, that's skilled. You need a very good eye to be able to do that. Let's see what's happening at the dam.
The government coming from authorities. Few males, four males and quarters of an so where's the actual buffer? Yeah, they're not from...
So the hyena trucks all over the place, yeah.
Are you on it? Half approximately half hour north would it be? Yeah, my God, 100 kilometers. Yeah, just I'm gonna start this car, can you hear my car,
Not much happening. Can't even see a hippo. Oh no, over there. Let's just stop the vehicle here for a minute.
Quite pretty.
Sorry?
It's quite pretty.
Yeah. The bird's call. What's pretty?
Lodge.
The lodge. Ah, sorry. Yeah. Juma Vuyatela in the background. This is the dam. For any new viewers this morning, this is the dam that we have in front of the lodge, in front of Juma Vuyatela Lodge. So if you come and stay at Juma Vuyatela one day, you'll be in your room, open your curtains in the morning, and the first thing you see is the dam with the hippos and the birds. And if you're a bit lucky, maybe a leopard drinking, some lions drinking. We had Yambili Yordan here the other night, drinking at the end of towards the end of the game drive. There's a grey, I think it's a grey heron, top of that dead tree over there. Hmm?
Where you see the grey heron?
On top of the date tree on the right hand side of the dam. Your left. I don't know if you're in the right tree. No, it's the one more on the right. Wrong tree, wrong tree. Yeah, up this one, I think. No? There we go. Grey heron. In French, we call him héron mélanocéphale. Héron mélanocéphale.
What?
Yeah, it's a difficult word, eh? Mélanocéphale.
Melanocephalus.
Yeah, and I think its scientific name is actually something melanocephalus, if I'm not wrong. I could actually check that. I've got a bird book here. And I think it's referring to that black stripe on his head. Ah no, not at all. Okay. Ah no, you know which one is the melanocephale is actually the black-headed heron.
That makes more sense,
Yeah. The grey heron. Héron. Ah yeah, in French it must be héron. Ah yeah, it's héron cendré. This one in French is héron cendré. If you want to have a look at the book. Sure. Taking your time, eh? So that's your grey heron here, and that's your black-headed heron, which we also get here, but I've never seen one. Have you seen one here?
No.
Not yet, eh? And in French, your grey heron would be your héron cendré. Cendré, cendre, cendre in French. You spell it C-E-N-D-R-E. Cendre means ash, like ash from a fire, and that's because it's the same color as the ash from the fire. So in English it would be the ashy heron, basically.
You just say that's the juvenile that we're on
Oh
now.
yeah, sorry, I'm showing the juvenile. Here's the adult, and you can see it's got a gray feathers and white neck and black head, but not as black. If you look at the black-headed heron, then this one's got his whole neck and his whole head is black, and this is the one that we call héron mélanocéphale. And if you look at the scientific name here of the black-headed heron, then you can see it's Ardea melanocephala. So that's why we call it héron mélanocéphale in French. Cephale, anocephale refers to, I think, the head. And melanistic, maybe. What is melanistic? Melanistic means...
Yeah, that's black.
Melanistic means black, right?
I think, well,
not...
when you say a melanistic animal, it is black. So
Exactly, a melanistic animal is a black animal. So basically, that would make sense. Melanocephala meaning black-headed. Phala being head, and melano being black color. And from the word, Mark saying from the word melanin, which produces pigments. So yeah, your black-headed heron and your héron cendré, ashy heron. I'm gonna call him like that now. right, let's carry on. One of them just flew over us, and this one is just landing over there. Wow, nice. Grey heron flying. Kind of. Hold on.
You know? I'm here by cruise cap now. Yeah, now, but I was just going to check this other side of the cruise cap where the captain knows what that line is possible.
Sure. Okay, Mark, try again. I'm not an expert on vegetation, but morning, Sil. Welcome on board. I'm gonna struggle with your question. Sil is asking if the lower vegetation here has got prickly things. I don't even know what that means. And I'm not getting any help, so I guess. Mark, can you just explain me what prickly mean? Hooks. Okay. Oh yeah, of course. Okay, now I understand. All right. Oh yeah, Sil. Okay, understood your question now. Thanks, Mark. I wasn't too sure what you meant by prickly things and stuff like that. So, but I know now. Basically, if the lower vegetation's got like hooks or Velcro seeds to get stuck on animals, and yes, we do have some species of plants of lower vegetation who have Velcro seeds or seeds with like hooks, just to get hooked on animals, and that's a way to disperse the seeds, just for the vegetation to spray. So yes, no, we do have this. I think you were saying you've got some plants like that in America, and we definitely do have some here in South Africa as well. Get like some, well, I won't know the names, but some have like some. It's like a little ball full of spikes, or full of little hooks, and even when you walk through the bush, you get lots of them on your shoelaces, for example, and then it's such a nightmare to get rid of them. You get back to camp and it takes you like half an hour to take them off your shoelaces or your socks or the bottom of your pants, and they kind of do the same with animals. They just like get hooked on their hair, and that's the way they can be dispersed. Got a bachelor herd of impalas, a few males, impala males, and some zebras. Hello, gentlemen. What you up to? Looking in that direction, looking at the zebras. A baby zebra coming, cute. Not baby, but quite young. Still fluffy. Breakfast time. Not really. How do you spell it? Oh, épineux. All right. Where is that from? RC in the Netherlands. Thanks, RC. RC is basically translating for me what prickly mean, being épineux in French. Yeah, épine is your spike or hooks. Épineux. Thanks, RC. Trying to suckle there, this one. Nice shot. Ah, that's cute. Mommy and baby. You're funny. Quite a lot of general game this morning around. This is your bull-tailed zebra, and you can see on that shot why. It's called why it's the bull-tailed zebra, because of those stripes between. You get two black stripes, and then between each black stripe you get a brownish or a lighter stripe as well. You can see on the ramp it goes black, brown, or it goes black, white, brown, white, black. And that's your characteristic of your zebra, bull-tailed zebra. Also on the legs. What I find so pretty with zebras is if you look at their stripes on the neck, it's perfectly aligned with the stripe of the hair going along their neck. It's just perfectly made. It's like it's been painted.
But I'm going to swim past Hyena Den now, just to have a look there, to kind of see which road they actually talked about. Because I did all the roads around cruise camp, but I didn't pick up anything. Just a bit, yeah. I'm going to make my way slowly up the side. Just somewhere before there. Okay, copy. Hopefully you have some luck in this area.
And each zebra will have different markings on their skin, different stripes, and usually you would use a stripe on their legs, or like here on the front legs, or the stripes on their ramp to identify different individuals. They each have different stripes. Like this one, he's got the perfect fork. If you look on his ramp, it's like a perfect fork, and you can have a look at another zebra and to be different. Like a devil fork, eh? Like a look at that. Nice. All right. Let's carry on with our drive. Randy in Iowa, good morning to you. Welcome on board, Randy. Randy is asking if I've ever heard of a sauce. A sauce being a zebra stallion mating with a horse mare. And if I've heard about that and what's my opinion, Randy is saying, wondering what people think. Yeah, I don't know, Randy. I'm not a big fan of this kind of interbreeding things. Horses are supposed to mate with horses, and zebra with zebras. It's like mating tigers and lions and getting how's it called? Just a liger. Sure. I don't know if you've seen that before, but if you go on internet and search a little bit for liger, you'll find those animals. Big, huge lioness with a few stripes, like a tiger, but it's just huge, and it's just actually too big to live or to survive in the wild because it can't hunt. It looks kind of pretty when it's a cub, when it's a baby, but you can't even release it in the wild because it's so big it can't hunt for itself. So it has to be fed by humans. So what's the point? And breeding horses with zebras, I don't know. They are the same family, but it's just why would you do that? What's the point? If nature doesn't make them breed together, then there is a reason. And you probably find that if you mate the zebra stallion with a horse male, you might get infertile offspring. You might not be able the offsprings won't be fertile. And that's the way nature shows you. It just doesn't work. Just don't mix. It's like if humans would start mating with chimpanzees. I don't know, something like that. Imagine. Why would you do that? So, no, if you want my opinion on that, I'm not a big fan of this kind of scientific experiments. Just let's take some genes from there and some eggs from there and some sperm from here, just put it together and see what we get. No, just spend time and money on looking at finding a vaccine for malaria or for HIV. That would be better. Money-wise and time-wise, it would be better. Well, that's my opinion. Like you said, I don't know what people are thinking when they do these things. Yeah. I agree, it might give you a very pretty individual. It might give you a pretty horse. Pretty horse with some stripes. Looking a zebra look-alike horse. You might lose me now, so I'm just gonna keep quiet and go through the deep. Cool, welcome back guys. I knew I was going to lose you, or you were going to lose me. Donna, good morning to you, Donna, in Oregon. Welcome to Juma. Donna is asking if there are different breeds of zebras. Yeah, Donna, definitely. You get different subspecies, different species of zebras. Like I was saying, this one was a broad-shell zebra, and you get other species of zebras. I'm not too sure yet on. Sorry. Lions, but they're not on our property. I'm not too sure how many species. Donna, can't really give you a number of species of zebras, but you get a few different species of zebras in Africa, depending on if you are in the southern part of Africa or in the east or in the northwest. Depending on where you are, you get different species and subspecies of zebras. baby hippo is here. Try to go there, yeah. As we got here, there was a hippo half out of the water on the other side, but now it's completely inside the water, of course. And there was a baby hippo as well. It's also in the water now, but it's gonna come up any minute, I'm sure. Huh?
Don't fancy a swim.
Come on, where are you, zebras?
Any station copy me on this channel?
Yeah, copy you.
Morning, sorry, just a quick update. These two Madurus are lullabies on the fire break now between Torchwood and Core. Lullabies on a schedule, it's very nice.
Okay, copy you, awesome. Unfortunately I can't get there, but alright, nice, thanks very much.
Copy that, just north, I don't know if you know in Coral side, they're a little bit east of the Jacobin driveway tunnel, on what we call it Northeast Junction, you'll see them there.
Northeast Junction, alright, okay. Thank you very much.
Ja, was ist denn bei mir? You were looking for me? No negative, I wasn't calling you. I think it was Ryan that wanted to call someone.
Cool, not much happening around Buffelshoek Den this morning, but while we're here I just opened a book for you, for Donna, about the different zebra. She was asking about the different zebra breeds, species that we get, and just to give you a bit more information, Donna. Okay, thank you. Mark saying Randy also in Iowa forwarded me some info. But yeah, you basically in Africa you get here in my book what they say you get the white, what they call the white ass, but that's just really like in little spots in East Africa, as you can see where it's red here. So you wouldn't see this one. This one is really not common at all. Then you get your common zebra here on the right hand side, Equus quagga, and or apparently they also call it the Mozambique common zebra.
Plain zebras and all that.
And basically here you've got all the different kind of zebras that you get, and on the other side of the page you get the map of Africa with where they occur. And if you look at ours, which is the Burcheli zebra, Burchell zebra, which is Equa burcheli, is red, so it's occurring here in southern Africa. Northern part of South Africa, also a little bit in Namibia and possibly Botswana, Zimbabwe, Kruger, and that's your B. So if you go here, your B would be, well, I don't know how that works, but it would be definitely this one here on the left, with the brown stripe between the black and the white stripes. So you get your common zebra, but then you get some subspecies of, here they say the Karoo, the Burcheli, which is your Burchell zebra. There are lots of subspecies of zebras, and here you get your mountain zebra as well. Here's the baby hippo. Must be standing on his mom's back. So yeah, Donna, just mountain zebra would be another species, and you've got your Gravy's zebra as well, which also occurring in East Africa. And that's pretty much it. But then you'll have in each species. That book is really not actually that great for that, because it just doesn't give me all the species. It's just, it puts them here and then it just gives me all the Latin scientific name, which doesn't really help. So I can't tell you this one is this one, this one is this one, this one is this one. But it's also because it's subspecies. But I'll have a look at the information Randy just sent me. Thanks, Randy. I'll check my emails when I get back to camp and see what Randy found on the net. But that just shows you, Donna, that you got quite a lot of different species and subspecies of zebra. And here in South Africa, we definitely have the Burchells. And we also have the Cape Mountain zebra in the southern South Africa, in the Western Cape. I've seen some in the Hoop Natural Reserve, which is on the coast, and there you can find your Cape Mountain zebra. All right, Mark was telling me there is a question about baby hippo. Donna, good morning to Donna from Oregon. Welcome to Buffer Zouk Dam, Donna. Donna wants some numbers. I'm not good with numbers. I'm a little bit like Mark. Donna wants to know the gestation period of the hippo and how long they stay with the adults. Gestation period of a hippo? 12, 14?
Sorry?
What's the gestation period of a hippo?
7 months.
Is it just 9?
7, 8 months.
7, 8? Oh, okay. So here we go, 7-8 months gestation period. So that's really nothing, for a big animal like that. 8 months gestation period. It's less than a human. Sure. And how long do they stay with how long do the babies stay with their mum?
Depends on the size, the growth rate. But females may stay in the family, in a female pod. So females may stay and males leave, I think probably around 3-4 years old.
The males? Yeah, okay. So I was saying, depending on the sex, if it's males or female.
And size as well.
Size.
Maturity is very much dependent on size.
And the size. Maturity is depending on the size. And females usually stay within the same pod. And males will live around maybe 2-3 years old. But yeah, it depends on the size, when they get mature, how big they are. Or at what age they get basically big enough to be able to leave the pod. It can be different from one individual to another one. But yeah, to give you an idea, to be around 2-3 years old, males will leave the pond, become completely independent, and females just usually stay in the same pod for the rest of their lives. So here we go, Donna. Got your answer, got your numbers. I'm really surprised about how short that gestation period is. You see, he's chilling on his mom's back at the moment. It's quite deep there for him, so he's just standing on his mom's back. Alright, let's keep going, guys. Alright guys, you might lose me for a few seconds while I'm going through the dip. I'll see you on the other side. squirrel shouting. It's us.
It's like shouting as we go.
Oh no, it's looking that way though. There's three, yeah, the one in that tree and another two there. Maybe if I go in that gap here.
Yeah.
Let me stop.
Stop.
There were two squirrels in that tree. One went down and jumped in another tree and got another squirrel also in another tree here on the left. 3 squirrels. That's probably why they were shouting.
Hold on.
Good morning, Minerva. Welcome on board. Minerva is asking if there are other game reserves where they have presenters, guides, camera people like we do here. Not really, Minerva. We kind of the only people doing this are there in South Africa, probably in the whole Southern Africa, going on game drives and broadcasting the game drive live like we're doing. It's you've got a few game reserves where you'll have some production companies like Londolozi Game Reserve. Will have their own production company there and they make some small documentaries, but they don't really, it's not the same principle as ours, as like going on game drive and broadcasting the game drive live. We are Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, Minerva, sorry, I got your question wrong then. More asking about if there are other women doing this, guiding and presenting, doing camera work. I don't think so, Minerva. Well, there are definitely other women doing guiding. Tara is not the only one. But in
There's not many of us though.
there are not many of them. And actually in the northern Sabisen, you're the only one in northern Sabisen.
Yeah.
Tara is the only one in northern Sabisen. There might be a couple of...
I think London has taken on women now, down in Leopard Hills.
Yeah. Maybe Londolozi, Leopard Hills have women guides. But yeah, there are not too many of them. It's more of a guide thing. And then as presenter-wise and camera work-wise, like I was saying earlier on, we're the only people doing this. Well, at least presenting live game drives like that. And camera work, you'll find some production companies. yeah, I mean, but you'll get some production companies, and they'll have some female camera work persons. But once again, not that many. You see, in the bush, it's kind of a harsh environment, and you'll find women that work in the bush. They usually work as like assistant manager or lodge manager, or in like the food and beverage department. So basically being at the lodge, not really being out there in the bush doing game drives or doing documentaries every day like we're doing. It's more of a man thing. But Tara is doing well. She's doing a good job.
Thanks, Ed.
She's not really a woman anyway. She's more a guy than a girl.
Yeah. Mother always said I should have been a guy.
Huh?
Mother always said I should have been a guy.
Donna, good morning to you, Donna. I don't know if it's the same Donna or if it's another one. But Donna is asking about, she's got a question about hyenas, wanting to know how many litters they have per year and how old, at what age do they start mating. They don't really have 1 liter a year, they usually have 1 liter every second year, Donna, and they would be, the males would be ready to mate usually a little bit earlier than the females. I think the males can mate around already 3 or 4 years old, and while the females maybe around 5, 6. And when they have a litter, you see, for that litter, those pups will become really independent, completely independent between 1 year and a half and 2 years old, and that's when then she can get in oestrus again and get into oestrus and then mate again and then have another litter. So you would not find a hyena having 2 liters in a year. She'll have maybe 2 liters in a bit more than 2 years, every 2 years. Oh, sorry, 1 liter every 2 years. Sure, it's getting nice and warm now. Lots of flies this morning.
We're trying to locate those some spots. Are they north of Darwin Lane or they south of where what is the lock? That's some guys. The medium ladder to junction with the Darwin Lane on the far right. Yeah, I'm looking for
Oh, elephants!
Firebreak close to the junction. On the firebreak.
Good morning,
Just north of
Jumbos. No, I'm just checking which route I'm gonna go in. And lots of babies. Some more on the left. I think this one is coming our way. Maybe.
Yeah, we've gone
No.
we're on the eastern side, we're heading
Just
back
want
up
to check what they're
Darwin
doing
Lane.
first.
Are you close to Rhino Cut Line?
We've got some on the left hand side of the road and some on the right hand side.
Rhino Cut Line. Thanks, we'll be there.
Where are we now, Ta?
Central with Drakensberg.
Junction with Central and Drakensberg.
Yeah.
Come and say hello. Turn left. Come here. Yeah, here we go.
North or south?
Hello. Good morning to you. Stations, I've got Schlembe of Gloves, Junction, Central Road and Drakensberg Road. Okay, let's try to go a little bit forward over there. We'll definitely have a better view. Just want to stop here and see first what they're doing, because we've got some here, some there. I don't know if it's all the same herd or if it's two different herds. Lots of them that side. Actually, lots of them that side as well. It's a big herd of elephants usually, guys. Okay, I'm gonna try to get in here. Let's have a look at these two for now.
And your headset?
Sorry. Always nice to bump into big herd of elephants. Big surprise. That looks like maybe a mom with her calf. Okay, let's try to get a bit closer. Lots of them here.
That's good.
Is that good?
Yeah, if you can go back a bit.
Back a bit? Okay. A bit more? Okay. Busy doing what they do for most part of the day, feeding. Elephants are not ruminants, so they need to eat a lot. They need to get a lot of nutrients because their digestion is not as good as the ruminant animals. And lots of things that are not digested in their food, and that's why they need to eat. They spend a lot of time just feeding. Quite a young baby, this one. Probably a year old. Around 1 year old. Not a great view. Let's just maybe get back on the road. I think if we get back on the road, we might. They're all going that way. And that's where I ride from. I ride from there. Sure, there are lots of babies. So this is quite a big herd of elephants. You'll find lots of cows and babies of different ages, and there might be a big bull or two around. They usually don't stick with their herd. They're usually satellite around the herds, and big bulls being more solitary, and they only join the herd for mating purpose. So I haven't seen any yet, but you'll find some young males though. You'll find some young bulls, and they'll be in the herd until they get to their teenagehood. When they get around 14, 15, then they'll start leaving the herd and become either with other. They will either be with other adults or they will be solitary. But I can see a lot of cows in that herd, and almost each cow has got a baby or two, like a baby from 2 years ago and a new baby, or like a 3-4 years old baby and then a new baby. There are lots of calf around, lots of calves. So, one of them just made a very funny noise. Heidi, good morning to you, Heidi. Heidi wants to know if I've ever been charged by an elephant. Yeah, a couple of times, Heidi. Not here, not in Sabi-Sand, but in other reserves where I did my trainings and or my practicals. I did get charged a few times, but not bad charge, like more like mocking charges, mock charge, yeah, and just had to reverse a little bit, you know, nothing really bad, just a little bit of intimidation and basically saying you're a little bit too close, just give us more space, which I did. And the funny thing is, one of them happened when I was getting assessed. During one of my assessments, during one of my training, I had to go on I had to take my assessor on a drive and take him as like he's a guest of mine. So we drove around for maybe 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, and I had actually a nice drive. And then towards the end of the drive there was a herd of elephant, and we approached them, and he was assessing me as like he's a passionate photographer, so he wanted me to get a little bit closer, and we got closer and everything was fine. And then around the corner, a big elephant car arrived. She had a calf, and she just mock charged us. And I looked at the mock charge, I didn't do anything, and then she got a little bit more relaxed, and then she mock charged again, get closer to the vehicle, and she relaxed again. And then while she relaxed, I just switched on the car and just reversed a little bit, and she was fine. Nothing really bad. But it's always a little bit intimidating when it's when it's your first time to get charged by elephant. You're not too sure what to do. But luckily the way you are trained helps a lot, so you know what to do in what situation. And there's no really rule of thumb or specific rules, because it will depend on situations, it will depend on the elephant. She charged me once, she could have relaxed, and then second time she could have come for me and just charged the vehicle. You never know. Well, you can know from signs, you can read signs on the elephant, you will know if she's going to stop or not. But some elephants will just mock charge 4 or 5 times, and some elephants will just mock charge once, twice, and then third time, if you're not moving away, if you're not doing anything, they'll just come for you. So hope it will never happen. You don't want to be in that situation when an elephant comes for you and puts his tusk in your car, in the radiator, pierce your radiator or whatever. Quite bad for the elephant and quite bad for you. But they are so, that's what's nice about elephants. They can be so nice, they can be so relaxed, so gentle, and then next minute they can just turn into very aggressive creatures and very scary. And that's why you need to know what to do and why is this happening and how to react. Let's maybe move a little bit down the road, see if we can have a view at these ones down there. And I got charged, of course, a lot of times in Gabon as well, but not part of my work or part of my job, more as like a kid going on trips with my parents and to some game reserves, and or walking in the forest with proper guides, of course. And hey, little one, it's okay. It's okay. You look very scary. Let's just tell him that, makes him feel better. Yeah, in Central Africa, forest elephants are way more aggressive than elephants around here, and I did get charged, never on foot though, but I did get charged a few times by car. Also because guides there in Gabon don't really know what they're doing as well. They don't have proper training like guides do here in Southern Africa. It's kind of more like they go from working in a restaurant to driving a Land Rover in a game reserve, and just having seldom knowledge, just a little bit of knowledge on different animals, but not enough knowledge obviously to read animals' behavior and stuff. So it's quite bad, and they just put themselves into some hectic situations sometimes with elephants, and accidents have happened, unfortunately, in Gabon. If you go to Gabon one day, just make sure you go to the right game reserve where they have proper guides nowadays. When I was a kid it was different, but nowadays they've got better guides with better training and stuff. But when I was a kid it was a bit of whatever. Bit of a mess. Look how he's rolling the branch just to get the bark. He's trying to get the bark off. So he's just rolling the branch in his mouth, using his teeth to just strip the bark off. And they usually leave the branch behind. They just strip the bark off, and then if you can see the branch now, the branch is like barkless, no bark left on it. And I might pick up a few leaves on the branch now. There we go, that's what he's doing, picking up a few leaves. But I've never been in like a proper elephant charge though, with like trumpeting and I've seen on documentaries and I've heard stories, but I've never been. I can imagine how scary it must be, but I've never been in that situation. Always been like, all the mock charges I had were always kind of quiet, just open ears and run towards the car or break branches and stuff like that around the car and shaking head, and never had like a really angry elephant coming at me with like trumpeting and stuff. Hope it will never happen. Let's maybe try to roll a little bit forward, see what's happening down there. There we go. It's okay, it's okay. Oh. So I can see the color of your eyes. Got a broken tusk on the left, this one. On the right, I mean her right hand side. It's okay, it's okay. No dare to harm. Just relax. See that thing in the hair like that with lots of babies, lots of calves, you must be quite careful. They get stressed very quickly. And she basically heard, I don't know if that's her calf that was on our right hand side just now. But when I switched on the car, I just kind of freaked out a little bit. And then she saw me going a little bit forward, and that's why she just came out of the bush and basically checking what's going on. Why is her calf trumpeting? What am I doing? And she's kind of showing me, okay, I'm in charge here, just be careful what you're doing. Fair enough. You're in charge, Mama, you're in charge. This is your playground, it's not mine. It's your playground and it's my office. Huh?
Baby's like playing with his trunk at the back.
Over there, yeah.
Very cute.
Still learning how to use his trunk. What to do with it. Cute. Very, very cute. Gilly, good morning to you, Gilly. Welcome on board. Gilly wants to know how do elephants communicate. It's quite a large topic, Gilly, but basically we've got different ways to communicate. They've used obviously sounds, so rambling sound. You sometimes hear elephants rambling, sounds like stomach rumbling, and that's one way to communicate. Also, obviously, visual. They use visual to communicate, and different signs on body signs. That's also one way to communicate. So they look at each other, and depending on their body sign, they can understand different situations. And they also communicate via ultrasound. That we can't hear. Scientists have made a lot of research on that, and they're also busy making some research on a theory which would be communicating through vibrations through the ground, basically, or sending ultrasounds, but using the earth for that, and herds of kilometers away from each other would be able to communicate via. Let's just try to go a little bit forward. I don't really have a view on any of them at the moment. But basically, yeah, like your rumbling, trumpeting is usually also touching. They also communicate via touching each other. They are very social animals, so they do use their trunks a lot to communicate. Like for example, the way they greet each other, they would put their trunk in each in each other's mouth. That was the way to communicate. I don't know if you just heard that, some kind of rumbling. going on there on the left. Rumbling, trumpeting, touching each other, and then ultrasounds, and then communicating basically through the ground, sending vibrations vibrations through the ground to communicate through long distances. There are lots of scientific research on that topic actually. Let's go. Let's try to go a little bit forward. You might have a better view from over there. They're quite in the thicket here on our left. Hello, big lady. You can be sure that right now they are busy communicating with each other. There are lots of ultrasounds or infrasound that you can't unfortunately hear with your human ear. It's like whales, you know, they've got lots of ways to communicate, and one of them being one way that human can't hear. We need machines basically to get those infrasounds. Hi, Randy. Randy's asking if that young elephant was doing the chicken dance.
Yeah.
No, was doing an elephant dance. Look at this one coming now. Look at you. Oh, it's cute. And Mom is like, go on, come on, move forward. Come on, come on. Randy, no, I don't know what you mean. Wasn't doing was doing an elephant dance. Let's call it an elephant dance. That was very cute. Yeah, Mark, go. Christine in Las Vegas. Good morning to you, Christine. Good question. Interesting interesting comment. Christine just saw a documentary where they reintroduced the population of elephant in Mozambique, and that population of elephant was taken from Kruger. She wants to know if... Oh, not elephant, just animals. Oh, okay, sorry. So some animals, she saw a documentary with some animals being reintroduced to... Are these two going to play a little bit for us? Come on, guys. They're so small. So Christine saw a documentary where they introduced some animals into one of the game reserves in Mozambique, and those animals were taken from Kruger National Park. And she wants to know if it can affect Juma Game Reserve, and what are my thoughts on that. Well, it's a good thing, Christine. I think it's Mozambique is a country which is coming out of war, and lots of animals have been decimated, killed in Mozambique due to a lot of poaching during the war, and the wildlife population in Mozambique is not looking great. And in parallel of all of this, in South Africa, we've got some game reserves where we have too many animals, too much overpopulated with elephants or any kind of antelope species. So it's a good thing if a game reserve or if a government has the budget, because translocating animals is quite a lot of... Let's just go a little bit forward, see if, while I'm answering that question, we can have a last look at those elephants. We don't have too much time left, so I don't know, it's either we stay here until the end, or I guess we can probably stay here until the end. If a government can afford, if a game reserve can afford to do a little bit of translocation, it's a good thing. It's rather translocating animals, an overpopulation or rather translocating animals and killing them, basically. And I think Mozambique needs wildlife. I know a few game reserves in Mozambique which have reopened, and Gorongosa in the northeast of Mozambique, very pristine game reserve. National Geographic made a very beautiful documentary, but most of the animals there have been reintroduced because during the war, it's just a lot of poaching happened there. And South Africa has got the wildlife. South Africa is ahead of any country in Africa regarding wildlife conservation or game ranging and game reserve management. Maybe with a couple of countries in East Africa as well, but South Africa has definitely been the pioneer, and they've always been ahead wildlife conservation wise, and that's why the wildlife is doing very well in South Africa. So if we can help neighboring countries by translocating animals from one country to another one, yes, if it's done properly, if it's done with respecting the rules, and yes, I'm in for it, Christine. I like the idea, and in a way, it's also helping those species. You know, it's just spreading animals, spreading wildlife. And Kruger's got a lot. Kruger's got a lot of wildlife, thanks to a very good management. It costs a lot of money to translocate animals. It costs a lot of money to buy animals, first of all. And then to translocate them is another big budget. But if countries got the money for it, I think it's the way to go. And there is a difference, something you must understand, there is a difference between introduction and reintroduction. Basically, introduction is to introduce a species in an environment basically means to introduce a species in an environment where it didn't occur before. And that's kind of different. Not that I'm for it or not for it. It will depend on the environment and on the species. It's a big topic. It's a long conversation that we can have on that topic, because depending on what animal we choose and what environment we choose, it can either be a good thing or a bad thing to introduce animals in a new environment. But reintroducing animals basically mean reintroducing animals where they used to occur and they don't occur there anymore because of humans' fault or because of disease or because of whatever reason. And that documentary you watched was probably about that. So reintroducing animals in the wild, as like they used to occur in Mozambique, but they just got killed by humans from poaching during the war, and nothing wrong with reintroducing those animals now that the reserves are more stable, they are fenced, and they have, I hope, a good management team in place. Then I think it's a good thing to repopulate those reserves with wildlife. Being it from South Africa or Zimbabwe or Botswana, doesn't really matter. But it's a good thing to reintroduce animals when we can, if the environment is now stable enough and if it is well managed. Kaylin, 10 years old. Welcome on board, Kaylin. I'm glad you're watching. Kaylin wants to know if elephants have predators. Yes, in a way, yes. Even though they're the biggest out there, but yes, they do have predators. Their main predator, unfortunately, is us. Well, not us at Wild Earth or at Juma, but us as like the human species. If the population of elephants have gone so low, it's mainly because of humans. But in the wild, they also have their predators. You've got a few pride of lions who have specialized in hunting elephants. There's some documentaries about that, and happened in northern Botswana. Pride of lion especially. Nice. That's the rambling I was talking about before. I don't know if you guys heard that just now. But that's... here we go. Almost sound like a growling from a lion, you know, but except that it's just much louder and a bit... it kind of reminds you or makes you think of a big lion growling. And that's the rumbling I was talking about earlier on. It's one way to communicate with each other. So they have their own predators. Lions would hunt elephants, especially. You see, for them, adult elephants quite difficult, obviously. But there is a pride in northern Botswana who have specialized in that, and it's been caught on camera where they actually put down big elephants, maybe not big bulls, but like elephant calves. They started hunting calves first, and they put down a few calves, and then they went up the scale and started attacking the females, and they've put down females every 3-4 nights, 5 nights. They would just wait for elephants to come at that water hole, and they would kind of not even ambush them, but like just as the elephants would come and drink, they would just start running after one and just being like 3 or 4 lionesses on their back and 2 or 3 on the side, on the legs, biting the legs, and they, after hours of fighting, they eventually get the elephant down and succeed in killing it. Otherwise, other than that, they don't really have any other predators. Other cats, leopards, and cheetahs would not really go after elephants. It's way too big. So the only predator they will have out there in the bush would be your lions, and they would mostly attack the baby ones. They will try the babies, but it really doesn't happen that often because babies are usually very well protected by the herd, by the rest of the herd, and it's difficult to just separate one baby from the rest of the herd, and that's why you will very seldomly find lions hunting elephants. You find lions hunting more often buffaloes than elephants. And other predator, like I said, would be your human species. Unfortunately, killing elephants for their ivory to make beautiful bracelets and necklaces for rich people overseas. Unfortunately. But not nice to live on a sad note like that though. But time is up, guys, and it was really nice to be spending some time with those elephants this morning. And they are doing well, so we're not going to live on a sad note because elephant populations all over Africa are doing much better now, and numbers are increasing every year, which is a good thing, and it's looking much better than it used to look 10 years ago, to be honest. So that's great news. Wildlife conservation, game ranging, game reserve management, anti-poaching units, scientists, everyone's done a great job for the last decade, and the elephant population elephants are doing much better now in Africa. But unfortunately I have to say goodbye, and I hope you enjoyed the drive this morning, and it was quite nice. We had a very nice starting, and always nice to start with a bit of action, and that's why I wanted to go to the Hyena Den and catch a nice sunrise first, and then go to the Hyena Den, and hopefully I was hoping that they would be there and being active, and they were, which was really awesome, and always nice to start the day like that. And then we found those elephants, spent like a good 45 minutes with them now, big herd, lots of babies. Cuteness all over the place, so I hope you did enjoy it as much as I did, and I hope you'll join me this afternoon. I'll be on drive with Tara again behind the camera, and Mark back in final control this afternoon, 3:30 Central African time. I hope you'll join us, and it's gonna be hot this afternoon, but we'll try to do a bit of trees this afternoon and maybe a little bit of survival. Maybe I'll teach you a little bit of survival tips this afternoon. Let's see how it goes. And we will have Nick also this afternoon. Nick is the operation manager from Juma Vuyatela, and he will be on board sitting next to me this afternoon. So if you have any question for him, don't hesitate, and he will be with me. The mic is in the middle, so you'll be able to hear him as much as you hear me. So
Who's
let's.
Mike?
Huh?
Who's Mike?
The mic is there.
You said Mike was in the middle, so you'd be able to hear him as much as you hear me.
No, I said the mic is in the middle.
It just sounded very funny.
So the mic is in the middle, and you'll be able to hear him as much as you hear me now. But yeah, for now, guys, enjoy your day or your evening, depending where you are in the world, and I'll see you at 3:30 Central African time. Bye for now.